my goodness, we are back for another episode of On the Bench with Beeks. This week is super freaking special. We've been building it up for the last few episodes. We are live here at Edge Ice Arena at the Dawg Nation Hockey Foundation Dawg Bowl 10 Ice Hockey Tournament.
Woo, woo.
I am your humble host, Cody Beekman, and I am joined as always by Daniel Beatty.
What's up, everybody? Hello.
I've got Keith Sanders.
Hello, everyone.
And I've got Ross Moormeyer.
Let's get it on.
Well, this week we've got a lot going on. It's incredible. Like, we've only been here for a few hours, and it's just going crazy. So we're going to break down a lot of this episode in probably different ways, but I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah.
How have you guys enjoyed the tournament so far?
Oh, man, I mean, this is crazy, guys. Like, I mean, I'm sure people can hear the atmosphere right behind us. It's loud. It's crazy. We're playing hockey. You can hear the ice. You can hear the puck, man. Like, this is just fucking phenomenal.
It's good talking to you boys, but like 15 feet away from me, I got Will Butcher and Troy Terry taking the ice right now, and that's some pretty skillful hockey happening 15 feet from me. I'm pretty stoked about that. I get to watch that all week.
Easy there, Danny boy. You're getting me hot and heavy with Troy Terry there, bud.
This thing is huge, and so, unfortunately, we're not going to have any Hockey Day in history, but we are going to go through a little bit of, like, the weekend. We're going to be here talking to a lot of incredible people, and we just got a goal scored right behind us.
There you go.
That's
Get some. Oh!
Hey-oh.
Got the goal.
That's incredible timing, man. That is beautiful. We brought the horn. That's coming with us, so we got amazing people coming up and talking to us tonight. But let's talk about the exhibition in the NHL real quick. So we've had every NHL team that is in the NHL playoffs. Who do you guys think is looking good?
Oh, God. The Avs looked immaculate. I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to go out there and throw that out there, but also another team that I liked that came right out of the chute was Washington. Oh my goodness. That and Philadelphia, it's like a tie, because they came out just shooting from the hip, getting everything that they needed to get, and just, doing what they needed to do, which is win some hockey.
Philly's on a fast track. Keats, what do you got there, bud?
I mean, I was going to say, guys, even the Wild, when they played the Avs, I mean, the Wild, they're not, they're not known for being this great team, but they kept up with the Avs.
They really did. I mean, bringing it close, 3-2, and working a lot from the penalty kill. They didn't look very bad, and we know how visceral the Avalanche power play can be.
Right.
And I mean, there were a lot of penalties in that game.
Oh God, too many.
I mean, I enjoyed watching a lot of the power play units working, and we saw that, with Ovechkin, in his office and taking care of business and stuff like that. I was listening to Anson Carter kind of call the game a little bit, and
Anson, he's always got a good grip on hockey.
I liked his assessment. He was like, I give these guys like a 7.5, and this was the Philly-Pittsburgh game, and I got to agree with him. Like, playoff hockey is kind of my favorite thing to watch on television, like not just a certain TV show. Like, it's fucking awesome watching the same hockey at a faster level and just giving it all, and
higher stakes there.
Yeah, they're holding off a little bit. They want to stay healthy. They want to go into this with a bang. But I saw good product out there on the ice. I did not see 3 months off.
Agreed.
Well, I'm gonna disagree slightly with you, Daniel.
Okay.
When I was watching the Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida Panthers game, that kind of. Oh, there's the laugh right there. I mean, a 5-0 game. I mean, Tampa doesn't even have Steven Stamkos or Victor Hedman in the lineup at all, and they still bring down a 5-0 win. But,
Yeah.
and not to mention as well, and I've been trying to keep everybody up on the Instagram sphere with like, game summaries, and I'm sorry today I'm lacking. We've had a lot to do today, but another game that I was very surprised with was Chicago Blackhawks and St. Louis Blues.
Oh God!
Chicago coming in and playing and beating the Blues 4-0. The Blues didn't look like they
didn't belong at all.
No, they were completely still in practice scrimmage mode. And you know what? I know it's exhibition, and I'm not going to harp on them too much. But like I said in the notes, you're supposed to be a big swinging dick here. You got to come in at least with a wrecking ball and make a fucking statement right away.
Well,
and I just did not see that in St. Louis.
And that's the same with Burakov's. With Bob when he came out there for the Florida Panthers. Bob, he let in 5 goals, dude.
And that's the thing about Bob. That's not a new thing with him with Florida. That's been all year.
Yeah, it has been all year. Kind of sucks getting some different D behind you, eh, Bob?
Well, what's unfortunate though is that the Florida Panthers went out and acquired Anton Stralman. Anton Stralman is one of the most visceral defensemen out there right now.
He was.
Well, yeah. Well, he did play a lot with Hedman, but Stralman has always been a very strong defenseman.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you need a little bit more than that. Where was any of Florida's top 2 lines in that scoring there? Obviously nowhere.
Well, nowhere. 5-0.
And I want to bring this into light too. The New York Rangers and New York Islanders game.
Oh yeah.
The Islanders played a typical New York Islanders game. Strong, responsible defense. Strong on the puck at all times. Where was Mika Zibanejad? Where was Artemi Panarin, a Hart frontrunner? Where was Chris Kreider?
Capo.
And Capo Caco, he was -2 and had 2 penalty minutes.
Oh yeah.
So that's a bit of a worry if you're the New York Rangers right now.
Oh, especially when Boychuk comes out there and just starts rocking. Not a decent guy, but he just starts rocking the blocks out of the guy.
Well, the tilt with Brandon Lemieux and Johnny Boychuk.
That's what it was.
It was a close quarters fight, but it's good to see that those kind of high energy players are finding intensity without the crowd to get behind.
And that's what I'm getting at. But it was just nice to see, because who's gonna draw a boy like Boychuk? Seriously.
Yeah.
He's an old, I'm not going to say a dinosaur, because that's just rude.
Oh,
he's an old veteran that knows what the hell he's doing.
Absolutely. And he's always been a responsible player, and he can mix it up. So this is what leads me into my next question for you boys. How do you think these players are actually going to sway, gain momentum without the crowds and a lot of noise going on? How do you think these players can overcome and gain a lot of intensity in these playoffs?
Man, hard to say, man. But I feel like these exhibition games, whatever you want to call them, it's probably a good stepping stone for them to be okay, this is how it's going to be.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I think when it comes down to it, man, they're there for a certain reason. As sad as it sounds, it doesn't matter if there's fans or no fans. They're there to do a job.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think most of those guys have that mindset, and they're just gonna go with it. But yeah, man. Everything that you mentioned, Cody. The guys just gotta freaking clean off some rust, man. They all
absolutely.
Do.
Yeah.
The good example was we already mentioned the whole Avalanche Wild game. Holy shit, the penalties. In a normal situation, you wouldn't see that. And
no.
And I honest to God, I do blame the huge timeout that we had. Why?
Oh, yeah.
You know, the guys are. I'm sure they're nervous. You know, shaky. This is different, but I guess what I'm trying to say, give it some time.
Yeah.
And they'll adjust to the normal NHL type of what we're used to seeing.
And of course, and I don't want to be too hard on these teams for all those reasons. What were you going to say there,
Well,
Ross?
I mean, it's like watching a fresh new deer just get, like, feet underneath it, like, all over again, because they know what the hell they need to do, but one foot's going one way, the other foot's going the other. Yeah.
So, how do you think they can kind of overcome all that kind of stuff so quickly and just get back to playoff mentality, intensity?
Well, honestly, I think that what helped them out was just doing their stay-at-home practices and stuff like they did. Kind of like, oh, I don't have to go and do this, but I'm gonna make it part of my regimen to keep up with the game. Anyways, that's how you have guys like Cale Makar making hits like he did the other night.
True, yeah.
And stepping up huge. And I mean, you've even seen Shen and all those guys on the Flyers. I mean, even you've got Kane. I mean, as old as he is, I mean, he's getting a huge veteran on the actual Blackhawks. He's saying, pass me the puck, and he's walking in on the right side.
So,
he's
creating his own kind of intensity.
Yeah,
in a
I
sense.
mean, you have to do that within the team, or depending on what your team mentality is.
So I think what you're saying is that they, at this point in time, that they really need to depend on their own competitive nature.
Yeah.
At this point,
and just go with what they already know,
and then build
and
on
feed
that.
off it.
Yeah.
My man.
Yeah,
there you go.
What do you think, Daniel?
If I can here too, the other thing that's going to be interesting about this is the mental aspect of the game is a little bit different. Like what you guys are saying about the bring the intensity, and it's gonna matter a lot, and your focus on the game is gonna matter a lot. Why it's gonna be harder for the veterans is they can't rely on the home crowd taking the young gun out of the game anymore.
Yeah, that is a good point.
So whatever strategies they had to kind of get under the skin while we have 2 to 4 games with them in our home arena is kind of gone. And so the younger players like Cale Makar, that's a disadvantage to older veterans that you're playing against, because they don't know how to use their home crowd to the only advantage they'd have over a superstar like that.
And that's a very good point, because there are a lot of first players with their first time being in the playoffs.
I'm sorry, can you imagine Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl playing in Chicago on the Madhouse on Madison compared to in Edmonton?
With nobody there?
It's a different aspect. So that's the kind of part of this series and the playoffs that I'm very interested in watching, because you can't have Claude Lemieux go after the guy. You can't have Marchand be his rat self in Boston.
These big hits.
You know,
these
And I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying everybody needs to chip in their top dollar and do what they need to do.
Well, yeah, but
for the team.
You don't have the sway of the crowd after
that's
that.
Right.
When a home team gets a gigantic hit,
and that's why that's important.
And everybody here has been to a playoff game. Everybody who's listening, everybody who's played hockey has been in a playoff situation, and that crowd is huge. And that is a very good point.
Yep.
For me, honestly, it's a little bit of everything, really. It's it's definitely what Ross said about just a person's compete level, which falls in with what Keith was saying, is that they're here for a reason. So obviously their compete level is huge.
It comes down to business.
Yeah,
at the end of it.
And the biggest thing, and then what Daniel says is staying composed. Obviously, you don't have these screams from the fans or anything like that, and so you have to keep your mind on the game.
Yeah.
You have to keep your mind
It's
on the
you
game.
and your boys. It's up to you. Do your job. I hate Belichick, but that is basically what it comes down to.
Yeah,
You show up, you do your job. If not, your team.
I think but for these younger guys, it's going to be easier to stay on your game compared to other years.
Yeah, oh, totally.
And so those people that relied on getting under the skin of those younger players are going to have to find a new way of doing that.
Absolutely, yeah, totally. And that's taking me back to like stay on your game, especially for the vets. You know, I mean, the rookies can play. The rookies can skate circles around these vets in some cases, but those vets got to stay on their game, you know?
So it's going to come down to the fact that, like, oh, you haven't been in a playoff before. The whistles kind of go away on some of these penalties. They only call the retaliations. I'm going to test you on that. So
absolutely,
that's where it's going to come down to.
And that's a both-way street.
I think we've got somebody that's approaching
we got a
us.
guest coming up here.
Look at this.
Oh, check this out. Doing it live. Here we go. So check this out. Come on over.
Hop on that mic over there, my friend.
He had all 3 goals for Denver Concrete, including the GW, of course.
What's going on, my man?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. Can you hear
Good,
us
how
all
are
right?
you?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty
All right. Let me.
That mic's not.
I got him.
So you'll have to introduce yourself, tell them where you're playing now.
Okay.
Make a little story on the way up.
Okay.
So we have like this is first for on the bench with Beeks.
Yeah.
We've never had a drop-in interview. So welcome to the show.
Dropping guy right here.
Tell us about yourself. Let's get going.
Yeah, my name is Tyler Poulsen, and I'm from Arvada, Colorado.
Nice.
I grew up here. Just played hockey with some of these guys on the other team, and most of the guys on my team. And I play in the ECHL right now for the Worcester Railers. This is my 3rd year coming up pro, so
Beauty.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to next year, and just being able to get back on this ice right now is unbelievable after quarantine and this COVID stuff's really kind of hurting everything. So it's nice to get back into everything.
Well, absolutely. Let me go around the tables to introduce you. The man right to your left, right there in the Ducks jersey. He's Ross Moormeyer.
Okay.
Well, hey, how you doing?
We got Keats, the lavish Latvian over here.
What's going on, my man?
And the man walking around here is Daniel Beatty, and I am the titular Beeks.
Okay.
So so beautiful. This is great. This is kind of like rapid fire. So how'd you find out about Dawg Nation, and how'd you get into this?
One of my good buddies, Joe Slavin, is he contacts me when to skate and when he has things going on. And we were just skating in top 8 at Superior, and he asked me if I wanted to come play in this, and I can't turn down ice. And then what I heard it was for, and charity and all that good stuff, and for people who need the support and need the hockey community, and that's what it's all about. And I jumped right on it, said of course I'd love to play.
yeah.
So,
Oh, that's
love
beautiful
it.
to hear.
I
I mean,
love
hockey community.
yeah.
That's kind of how we kind of started this podcast. So I don't know if you know much about us, but we love dealing with the different perspectives of like the game of hockey.
Yeah.
So we'd love to learn something new. Can you tell us about just like kind of your travels through hockey and what it's done for you in like in just life in general, and just kind of break it down a little bit deeper than what people kind of see on the outside.
Yeah. Most of the guys that you see that are professional and stuff like that, a couple things that it taught me growing up is when I moved away when I was at a young age, 15 years old. So it was hard on my parents, and it was it wasn't tough on me because I was like, yeah, let's get out of here. But
Put the ice underneath me.
exactly, and just let a kid be free. But in reality, what it did was it helped me grow up as a person and learn things on my own, to clean my plate and little things, laundry and stuff that you learn at a young age to grow up.
Oh yeah.
And be respectful of the families that you live with. So
Nice.
But I think that was one of the biggest things for me myself. But then travels everywhere. Man, I've been from Kenai to Boston, Kenai River, Alaska to Boston to Texas to Toronto, Canada. So it's just.
Now, and what does that mean to you? As just like seeing different places all the time. I mean, just like obviously sometimes it might get a bit lonely, like out on the road all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe waking up in a place that you you weren't in last night.
Yep.
What are the benefits of seeing all these different kind of places?
Yeah, you get to experience a lot more. You got to be very thankful too. I'm very thankful for being able to go to those places and have that opportunity, because a lot of people like to travel and see those places. So for myself, it was really cool to experience that. And like I said, when you said, waking up in a weird place, that's what the hockey community is about, and your teammates. So you wake up and you're with them, or you're with the family and stuff. So it's never too bad. But
well, yeah, it almost correlates to kind of like the playoffs, especially.
Yep.
I'm gonna bring that out just because we got hockey back,
Yeah.
and we're in a dead spot where we're just playing playoffs.
Yep.
So it's almost kind of like going down 3-1 in a 7-game series.
Yep.
So that does that kind of help with you? Kind of like think you never know what kind of place you're gonna be in.
Yep. And then at one moment you could be at a home and be moved in one place, and the next day you're going somewhere else, and like snap of fingers, so it's just, you gotta, at a young age when you're in juniors and you stick around, you kind of learn to move a little bit here and there. So when you get to the pro level, it's when you get snapped off in a trade, it's really not too harsh on the body and too hard on the mind. So
yeah, for sure.
Do you think that we're given some of the do you think the players are adapting well to this whole bubble playoff situation? Do you think they're like, oh, this is like that tournament in Chilliwack where I was in the Holiday Inn for like a week and I was playing shinny between games, and I'm gonna put myself in that mindset.
Yeah, it varies on the person, but yeah, this bubble play, this change of you're playing in one location with no fans. There's so much going on that everybody's kind of scrambled. So hopefully people are adapting. If they're not, find someone that you can be around and hang around, I guess, and get close to help you through things like that. So.
And what's great, actually, we were just talking about what would you do in that situation to you got no fans in the crowd. How are you going to build your intensity?
Yeah, get energy.
In-game intensity. What do you think you would do in that situation?
Life always says that. Get energy.
Yeah, get your momentum going and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of correlated to right here. We had even a few people in the stands or a camera. That was huge to me. To get back into that atmosphere, but the no fans and no cheering. I personally, I don't know how they're doing it. That's something else. I wish I could be in that spot to give my opinion on it, but it's a little bit. I don't know how they're reacting. But if I were to build energy, it's just to play against those guys at such a high level. When you're playing, for example, Troy Terry and Lucas Savage and Will Butcher and those guys are out here.
Oh yeah.
So when you're playing against them, the level increases and you kind of reach your peak anyway. So I'm sure in that mind frame of the NHL, they're adapting a little bit, but they're probably happy to get back on the ice too.
I'll be
cool. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with us, man. I really appreciate it.
We'll be cheering for you this week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we hope to have you back on the show here real soon, bud.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and it's a pleasure to meet you guys and be able to be here. So
have a great weekend. If you talk to my gal over here, we'll give you some On the Bench with Beeks stickers, too.
Okay, yeah, please.
Great, yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, cheers, bud.
Cheers. Thanks so much, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got. Yeah, we'll do.
Want to hop in next to your jersey over there?
Yeah, we got plenty of guests coming here. Guys.
Here we go.
This is the time.
All right, here we go. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, look at this guy. All right.
All right.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's the first on podcast jersey signing that we've ever had on the Bench with Beeks. That's beautiful, bud. Not to be gauche or anything.
Awesome.
Not to be gauche.
I'm not going to.
All right, so if you want the headphones, if you don't, it's all right.
Yeah,
Either way.
So you can hear us better.
Yeah.
What's up, my man?
So Troy Terry, welcome to On the Bench with Beeks. I'm going to go, I'm the titular character on the Bench with Beeks. We've got Daniel over here.
Hi, nice
we got
to meet you.
Keith Zanders right there. We've got your super fan over here with Ross. So We are absolutely honored to have you on. Thank you so much for doing this with us, bud.
Yeah, of course. It's an honor for me. It's a fun tournament to be a part of, and I'm excited to get the chance to talk with you guys.
Absolutely. And so, like the thing about this tournament for you that I really want to touch on is that this is like a big, just DU Pioneers reunion for you right now.
Yeah, I mean, we our team's kind of all DU guys, and we skate with each other all summer and kind of play against each other. And we look forward to this because it's kind of our one opportunity to actually play together and play against other good teams and try to win a tournament for a good cause. So.
Well, I mean, yeah, and a huge national championship. Congratulations on that, by the way. I mean,
no big deal.
A few years later. Let me skip forward to your NHL play now. I mean, obviously you've been playing pretty hard for Anaheim Ducks, and then your good buddy Dylan Gambrell's playing up the highway from you on San Jose. So how's the transition from college to the NHL in your eyes?
Yeah, it's a transition, that's for sure. It's little things that you kind of have to learn. I've learned through my whole career, even going from youth to juniors to college. Everything you have to change. I mean, it's just evolving as a player, and I noticed the biggest thing in the NHL is playing away from the puck, and when you're on the walls, I think little things that hockey fans notice, but it's kind of hard to pick up on little details like winning your puck battles on the wall, and you're going against the best players in the world, and they've all got good sticks and they're strong, and so it's hard. I've learned that I got to really be good on my details and that type of stuff, but I think it just comes with confidence. I think I'm starting to learn that I can't get away with everything I did in college, but I still if I have the confidence to try to make plays like that, I think that's when I have the most success. That's kind of what I'm trying to work through right now.
Biggest thing is finding the open ice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean, you're playing against good players, but you're also playing with good players, and just trying to get open. And if you get an open shot in the NHL, it's not like college where you can kind of you miss and another one's coming soon. And you really got to be ready to shoot all the time because you don't get many opportunities to shoot. And if you find open space, you got to try to make the most of it.
I know Ross is just dying to ask you a couple questions.
And also with Corey Perry and Ryan Getzlaff, I mean, you even got Cammy Fowler. Those guys are just top-notch guys, and they know where you're going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to have learned a lot from them and grown as a player in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Corey was a guy I was with my first year, and I think each one of those players you said has got something different that I try to learn from. I mean, Corey's such a good natural goal scorer, and I didn't know Corey before. You just see him as a player, and he's kind of a little instigator out there and that type of stuff. And
just
a
little.
Yeah, and I was blown away by how nice he was. He was an awesome guy. He's a true pro. And Cam Fowler, I actually lived at his house this year, so. I learned a lot from him as a player and just as a person. But he's awesome, and obviously he's a defenseman, but you still just pick up on how professional he is and that type of stuff. And and Getzy, like you said, is just the ultimate captain, ultimate pro, and I feel very fortunate because I do feel he's kind of gone out of his way to kind of take me under his wing. And I've always, if you guys have seen me play, I've always kind of been more of a pass first guy, and but sometimes I probably should shoot more, and I think that explains Getzlaff pretty well. He's probably one of the best passers of all time. And,
easily.
So I've had a bunch of conversations with him, and he always goes out of his way to help me with that type of stuff.
So just the fact that you guys are both kind of a pass first guy, does that just playing with Getzy, knowing that he's a pass first kind of guy, does that kind of bring you out of your shell to maybe shoot more? Yeah,
it does. We played together quite a bit. I think our biggest problem was we didn't shoot the puck because neither of us really shoot the puck, but we had the puck a lot. But I mean, it is with Getz, no matter where he is, no matter which way he's looking, no matter where you are, he knows where you are. So that was the biggest thing with him, just always being ready for it.
Coming back to the bench, coach is just saying, somebody's got to shoot the puck eventually.
Yeah, there was a few of those conversations actually.
Absolutely. Let's get something from the peanut gallery here.
I'm just curious, from what you said about trying to find space, and then when you get the shot, be ready to take it. And then also you're learning from the older vets. Has there ever been an opportunity for you to be like, hey guys, this is what I'm learning coming up through the ranks now, and this is what the younger guys are doing, and like, here's a tip that I'm trying to give to you guys to give back the way that you're giving back to me?
Yeah, I think, as a young guy, I don't necessarily go out of my way. If I see something that I don't know if Ryan Getzlaf did well, I don't know if I'm really very comfortable telling him that Ryan Getzlaf of 15 years needs to do something different. But
Just
I think
rub his nose
Like, who
in
the hell is
center.
this
Come
kid,
on,
man?
come on.
yeah, but they do. I mean, it's a changing league all the time, and Getzlaf's been in the league from back when, it used to be even old-time hockey, like more physical, and the game's just changed. And he, he's not one of those guys that's stubborn in his ways, and those type of guys will always kind of, trying to talk through it with us and kind of talk about what's changed and what works now. And, we're always watching video of other teams, trying to pick up on other things other teams are doing. So it's a changing league all the time, and it's a copycat league is what everyone says, and everyone's trying to learn from each other.
Well, yeah, parody, and I think one of the parodies that I think I've heard for the NHL is you can always get better. So this is the question I want to ask you. Like, what is there something that you plan on getting better on, or just like what are you trying to focus? Like now, like at least being able to get back on the ice a little bit, and like what do you plan on, just expand? How do you plan on expanding your game at this point?
Yeah, I think for me the biggest thing since I was 14 years old is just getting physically stronger, and I've come a long way. I think I've gained like 20 pounds in the last 2 years.
You're looking pretty beefy, bud.
That's honestly, away from that's the best thing you could say to me. So thank you for that.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
But just like I talked about, when you don't get many shots, and a lot of if you look in the NHL, so many of the goals are scored off the pass. That you don't catch the puck and mess around, massage it, and then shoot. The goalies are too good, so you got to be able to shoot off the pass, and that's something I've been working on. And also just I found that I'm able to find space and even beat a guy and get to where I want to be on the ice. And I think I'm just trying to build my confidence that when I'm playing with confidence and I beat a guy, I'm not just like, oh my gosh, I'm in the NHL, I beat a guy and just throw it on net. And instead, I beat a guy, I'm not just throwing it on net, I'm trying to go into the top corner or that type of stuff. And I think that's something a lot of players go through as coming into the league and just trying to get confidence. And I think the sport is so much about confidence, so that's kind of the main things.
Oh, absolutely. And we know you're a hometown boy. How do you feel about the Colorado hockey making a foundation based on helping injured hockey players and making a huge splash? Does that give you any sort of pride, or
Absolutely.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's Marty does such an amazing job, and he's a guy I talk to all throughout the year, and he's truthfully just a guy that I idolize and I look up to, and to be able to be a part of this tournament and knowing that I'm impacting someone's life for the better, and hockey aside, I came off the ice, I was pretty upset about what happened out there, and as soon as I step off the ice, I just think about what we're doing here and what an amazing cause it is, and it's just an honor to be a part of. And it's something that I, even if there was no charity or anything, this is a tournament I'd be excited for. And then when you add just how special and how amazing and how much we're helping people, it's just something that I truly look forward to even all year.
Nice.
Wonderful, man. Well, I think I can speak for all of us to say that we are so excited to see you back on the ice in December
And
flying that Anaheim Ducks jersey, and we'll be cheering for you, bud.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'll be cheering for you. I don't know about the rest. I'm kidding.
I really do appreciate the jersey, though.
Oh, yeah. And if you don't mind, we have a little tradition. Would you mind signing our banner?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for having me, first of all.
Absolutely. But I got one more question
Yeah,
for
what
you. Do you believe you should have deserved a penalty shot on that trip you got this last game?
I'm not a referee. I'm not going to say that I wasn't going to have a breakaway. But what I said, Alex Bates is one of my good friends on that team, and what I tell you I don't deserve is after I get tripped, I think he shot the puck at my mouth. So I tell you, I didn't deserve that. I think I deserved a penalty shot, if anything, not a puck.
Yeah, I don't deserve missing chicklets.
But no, I mean, it's a game. I mean, no, I'm not going to get too technical. I'm okay. We have another game. I'll get over it.
There you go.
So.
All right, we'll talk about it next time. How about that?
Thanks for bringing it up, though. It doesn't bother me at all if you can't tell.
Well, no way. Well, thank you so much, Troy, and good luck this tournament. Good luck in your career, and
Thank you.
we really hope to talk to you soon, bud.
Yep, awesome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, thank you. Will Butcher, thank you so much for being on the bench with Beeks. I am the titular character, Beeks. We've got Keith Sanders,
What's going on, man?
Latvian. We've got Ross over here,
How you doing, buddy?
a ghost guy. So let's start it out already. Congrats on the previous NCAA championship, of course.
Seriously, that's a huge accomplishment.
That's the first time I got to see you since.
Yeah.
But Willie, like we've been talking about just like different perspectives of hockey, and you've had an incredible career, you know, going to DU, winning the Hobie Baker, getting drafted by the Avs, and then like eventually signing with New Jersey. Can you tell us, like, you know, the kind of wave of emotions that you have gone through just all through that?
Yeah, it's a lot. I think any hockey player can attest to, especially one that has a longer career. Like, fortunately, you know, it's ups and downs. It's you know, you win a national championship, then you don't sign right away. You're trying to figure out where you're going to be, and you know, it's up and down, and just like any career, it kind of bounces back and forth. And just having the right mindset and attitude towards those types of things makes guys have long careers, and that's one of the key things I think as a hockey player. Just going through it, because life happens, and obviously what we're going through right now, and with you know, the pandemic and everything is something serious and something nobody plans for. So you know, it's stuff like that. So I mean, it's affecting everybody, and you know, it's just, like I said, having the right mindset in life, I think, is huge for any person.
And I think actually playing hockey is a huge like a huge teacher of just like dealing with life anyways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what do you think you've learned most from just playing hockey throughout the years?
I think it's just being a good person. I think when you're good to your teammates, it translates into your everyday life. From, you know, little kids that look up to you, to your parents, to, you know, your friends, when you go to school, and everything like that. I think if you're a good teammate and you're a good person, it takes you a long way in life. And that's definitely one of the things my parents taught me when I was little, especially, you know, they always put me in organized sports, and always be a good teammate. I think translates really well.
So let's jump ahead to like New Jersey Devils.
Yeah, well, and I was
it.
going to say, like, between the Avs and the Devils, I mean, and also what you're saying that you have in respect for people and everything, those franchises are top notch.
Yep.
So they hold you to the highest standards.
Yeah.
Which I love. I mean, I love that. I mean, why wouldn't you do that with every single player or every single franchise? I mean, it's great to see that in the community, which is hockey.
Yeah, no, agree.
Or any sport. So
yeah, that's a great point.
It's great to just see that. Just, I don't know. What do I want to say?
Just expand hockey community.
There you go.
So you've had a chance to play with a lot of really great players. I mean, Andy Green, PK Subban came over just like a year after you.
Yep.
Can you tell, like, you know, just coming in as a young guy, what kind of stuff have you learned from them?
Yeah.
Just in like your short tenure in New Jersey.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think Andy Green's a perfect example. He's a smaller guy like me, left-handed defenseman. Plays kind of similar in the sense of a very smart player, breakout, and he just sees that game really well. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's been in the league so long. He's played so many games.
Yeah.
You know, I learned a lot from him, and just like asking him and kind of like mirroring him in the sense of his routine, like what he does, and how he essentially like is a pro, and just learning those kind of like intangible things like that are kind of minute to, you know, the personification of like how you go about being your job and how you like are a pro in hockey. And I think he does it one of the best I've ever seen. So I've given him a lot of credit because I've stolen a couple of things from him, you know. And
How could you not?
yeah, a bunch of guys have. So, you know, there's a reason he's been in the league for so long.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then, so on the other side, you know, you got PK Subban. Like, you guys are both kind of more like offensive, defensive in a way.
Yeah.
Do you almost see him more as a peer, or do you still see him as like somebody you can learn from?
Oh no, somebody I can learn from. I mean, he won the Norris Trophy. Like he's been in the league a long time too, and you know, he's put up a ton of points, especially his offensive D-man. I think one thing that I need to start taking from him is how he shoots the puck. A lot, and then how he gets it off and how hard it is, and it's on net almost every time. And I think that's the biggest thing. Is like his game is so good when he's, you know, taking that slap shot, taking that one-timer, and I think if I could take something from his game, it's definitely that. Like that he does something like that very well.
One of the things I've noticed about him a lot is like it's like here's Subban with like a wide open, big wind-up slap shot, and it's like I don't get to say that about a lot of other defensemen, and it's like. That's because he's creating his space for him to have that shot.
Yep.
He's really fast off the puck, I've noticed as well. So I've come to appreciate at the pro level, like it's about how you can move to spaces without the puck.
Yep.
And I imagine you're learning some of that from these guys as
well.
Oh,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think the guys are in the professional leagues because they can think the game, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like what's going to give them the, you know, that second and a half to take a bigger windup when they shoot it, or what's going to give that second and a half to make a pass in the passing lane that might be there, you know, if he takes a stride here or there. And I think learning that and like just getting confidence in doing that separates guys, especially even in the league, like guys are playing, it separates the really good players from, you know, the guys that are just chill trying to fight and make a roster spot.
And do you have guys out on the ice that you're recognizing like, okay, I like to shoot low pad side because I know they like the rebound across the, like, do you go to that level when you're trying to like figure out how to get the most points out of the players on the ice there?
Yeah, I think so. I think it has a lot to do, like you said, like who's on the ice. I think you look at the skill levels out there, like who can catch a pass in this area, who is going to be thinking like I'm going to the net hard, and who's going to be kind of like not laying back but kind of dropping back, like expecting a pass on their tape. Like I think it's kind of reading who you're out there with and being aware, like self-conscious of like where you are in your spatial awareness and where, you know, the other guys on your team are and who they are too.
Expanding your hockey IQ is a big thing.
Yeah, Houston.
Well, and I can even imagine, like, if you're researching another player that gets drafted on your team, you already know how they play.
Yeah.
So you can kind of pick that up a little bit with inklings, and then you are face-to-face with them.
Yeah.
So
I think a big thing is we practice so much and we play so much. I can tell you just by looking. I don't even have to see who it is. Like if I see you guys stick, I know who it is.
Yep.
So that helps out a lot, especially because it's so fast. Like I can tell, or I can kind of tell just by like over here, like how the guy is skating or striding. Like guys have unique things like it hitches, and you see them so much that you know who that is going down that way.
Hockey truly is a visceral sport.
It's way too fast. It has to be automatic, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Butchie, thank you so much for doing this, bud. We would love to have you back on if you're ever willing to. And thank you so much for coming and doing the tournament. We have a thing, if you don't mind, signing our banner.
Of course.
Well, that'd be huge. Thank you so much.
Yeah, guys.
Hey,
thank you for having me. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate you, man.
Wow, boys, we have had an incredible day. Our first day at Dawg Bowl. I gotta say, boys, to close it out, what are you guys' final comments, Daniel?
You know, I've never interviewed a pro before. I've watched games at ice level. I see the intricate stick work, but there's nothing that beats the insight of a pro on some questions. So to get those questions, to ask those questions,
especially if they play with other people too. That's like the most, what they learn from another pro player. That's the most amazing thing right there.
Keats, what do you like about this, man?
I mean, honest to God, man, my favorite part was, we knew we were going to get these guys, and we knew we were going to talk to them, but how fast it happened, mid-episode, the boys just showed up and just like, hey, here I am. Let's talk.
That's it on the bench with Beeks first. It's
it was just great, man.
Like just a drop-in, rapid-fire kind of thing.
It was just like, can I get a sound check? All right, let's just roll them on through.
So, I mean, if this is any indication what the week's going to be like, I'm fucking excited.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm fucking stoked.
It's going to be a great weekend, and we're excited. Thank you to Tyler Poulsen, Troy Terry, Will Butcher. Thank you to Dawg Nation. Thank you to everybody who's listening, and we'll see you next time on the bench.
We got more stuff coming, guys.
Tomorrow.
Cheers.
Tomorrow.
Be harsh.
Till next time.